I'm so over this. Okay, so another episode in unboxing 10 more fragrances and rating them. Except I realized something, you guys. I probably shouldn't even be putting these on the shelves because the shelves themselves, I need to put in the LED lights. And I'll probably have to take all those fragrances off. So we're gonna go ahead and start a little line here of fragrances instead because I need to put those lights in before we do anything else. So speaking of lights, let's turn this one on. You got the bottle. And let's go ahead and get started. So we're cracking into another random box. I didn't label any of the boxes. I had to move within a week. All right, so here we go. We have a couple of what seems like niche fragrances. This is the coffret for Kilian's Black Phantom. One of the only presentations that I've kept in my collection. Well, because I paid extra money for the coffret. It is pretty damn dusty though. It looks pretty sick. What is this? Fool's Gold. This is Fool's Gold. Why am I keeping the Fool's Gold in here? Just throw it away, dude. Hoarding mentality. Like, see, that's the whole thing that I have about presentation and boxes and shit. It just promotes hoarding. I'm gonna get rid of this Fool's Gold. I'm gonna throw this shit away because who cares? Black Phantom. I don't have it on hand. Let's just keep moving. Next one up here. Here we go. This is, oh, okay. I don't think I've ever talked about this one. It's called Black Dragon by the house, I think this is by Byron Parfums. And this one was a little unusual. I think it has like mango, ambers, some oud. I'm actually gonna have to look at the notes for this one because it's been quite some time since I've looked at this one. Let's see, Byredo's Black Dragon. But before I even pull that up, let me see what it smells like. Here we go. Atomizer is nice. Yes, very unusual, very different. There is absolutely a tropical, or not a tropical, a fruity vibe here with something sweet, vanillic, and it is mango. Mango, pineapple, and honey. And then it dries down into something musky, bourbon, vanilla. There's a couple of like powdery woods in here as well. And for the most part, I get like this borderline tropical, honey, and musky, powdery scent. The actual notes does say that it has tobacco, as well as amber and patchouli, except when I look at the notes, I would expect something that's not as powdery as this. I would expect it to be, for me personally, a little bit more sweet, a little bit more towards maybe the gourmand aspect, considering that the top has the honey, the pineapple, and the mango. But no, this one actually leans more towards the powdery side of things, even giving it like a creamy texture. So the sandalwood is more than likely the responsible factor here, giving it that whole powdery effect. And the amber itself, more so of an accord, could likely be from the use of labdanum, because I get something that's relatively creamy, maybe even indolic, and usually labdanum and maybe some other resin is used together as the note or as an accord of amber. And that's what I get with this one. Creamy, a little bit of mango, pineapple. It's not really the center star here, but some accords. It's not bad. This isn't anything that I would run home about. It smells pretty good. It's pretty unique. It's different and very, very unisex. In fact, it might even lean slightly towards the feminine side of things. And mostly because of that whole indolic, fatty, floral side or of the fragrance itself. That's pretty much it. It's weird. It's nothing wow. It's nothing show-stopping, and that's exactly why I never spoke about it, I suppose. It's not bad, just weird. Next one up is called Asateer Soft, and it wasn't anything that really blew me away. It's a soft, fruity, musky fragrance. It's mostly gonna be like pear, and I believe the notes are musk, pear, amber coffee, vanilla, and oak moss. And it kind of gives me like black opium vibes, but more musky, more fresh, the whole fruity nuance to it as well. It's a lighter version. It's not nearly as raunchy as black opium, but the whole coffee, the ambery, and the oak mossy dry down is what this one reminds me of. Aside from that, it's nothing to run home about. It wasn't anything that I was like crazy about either. Very, very clearly a feminine style scent. Moving on to the next one is this. This is called Gleam London Espresso, Please. I haven't talked about this in a long time, and it didn't break, but I should probably get those puzzle foam pads on the ground. But it didn't break. Anyways, so I didn't talk about this one because it got overshadowed by a lot of affordable fragrance releases at the time that I got my hands on this one, and it is also relatively expensive. This is an espresso style of coffee along with hazelnut and dark chocolate, along with tonka bean and musk. It's absolutely phenomenal of a coffee scent. The hazelnut and the dark chocolate does give this a gourmand aspect. It's relatively creamy as well. So although it does have creamy characteristics to it, it's not completely in that direction. The tonka bean and the musk add another texture to it. I don't want to say that it goes woodsy, but it does have an earthy undertone, grounding it as well from going completely towards the coffee and cream. It's really good. It's underrated, but it's also pretty expensive. That dark chocolate, hazelnut, coffee vibe does remind me of fragrances like Dark Phantom or Black Phantom by Kilian, except obviously not nearly as any of that, really. It's just that combination of maybe this glazed, nutty vibe along with the chocolate that gives me a very brief reminiscent. Very, very brief, you guys. Nothing like it, but just in that vein. And the Black Phantom has the note note of almond along with the dark chocolate that goes in a separate direction. But if you like that scent, then you should definitely check this one out. It's called Gleam Espresso Please. And for the most part, I think the main reason I didn't talk about this one is either probably because of the price. I don't even remember how much I picked this one up for, but it is relatively pricey. Next one is this right here. It's called Superz Budapest Gold Dust. Gold Dust. Let me refresh my memory. Ooh, smells pretty good off the top. Atomizer is nice. Extrait de Parfum. Yeah, this one's a good one. This one's really good. So Oriental spiced. Wow, that's nice. Oudi. It's also giving me like cedarwood, fresh cedarwood, pencil shavings in every good way. So for the most part, I get like this cedarwood shavings along with some incense, very churchy, church-like, except it doesn't necessarily go as dark temple in that sense. It's kind of light. I would say that this is more like blonde woods with an undertone of incense. So it wears relatively light. It smells really good. This is very sexy, and I think it's extremely unisex. For those of you who enjoy fragrances like Bon Fumé, Bentley Intense for men, this is obviously smelling a lot more expensive than the Bentley Absolute. I should say not Intense, Bentley for Men Absolute, which is a great fragrance at an affordable cost. This one smells higher quality than something like that, but it still has that pencil shavings, very nostalgia or nostalgic style DNA, along with that incense, extremely unisex. Moving on to the next one. Next one is called Sugar Leather by Nuit et Oman. And I remember this one being very sugary and intense leather scent. Except on initial impression, I didn't really enjoy this one that much. However, as my taste for fragrances has developed and changed, I can kind of appreciate this one, except it's very different. And when I first got this fragrance, I was expecting just a sugary leather scent, but it's far from that. Oh, it's actually Un Nuit Oman. Why does it say Un Nuit et Oman? Bro, I swear to God, it says et Oman. I'm gonna show you guys in the camera here in a sec. Bro, did the letters just like decide to switch, or did they change the name? Check this out. Check that name out. I'm not just seeing things. This is supposed to be Un Nuit Oman, and it says A Oman. That's crazy. So like I was saying, I was expecting something that was going to be just straight up a slab of leather, along with that caramel, there's cinnamon, labdanum, and amyris. I didn't honestly know what I was going to expect, but what I ended up with was this very piney-like leather, along with some kind of oriental spiced vibe. That's pretty much it. Simple, not that complex, but the piney nature of the fragrance really threw me off completely. I was not expecting it, but I guess the amyris in the scent is pretty damn strong. So it's not a bad fragrance by any means. And in fact, now that I'm smelling it, the caramel cinnamon vibe definitely did grow on me, but there's something oriental about that combination. Initially, I was thinking there might have been some saffron or something, but the cinnamon and caramel combination in this one is very dosed up, or highly dosed. So it's okay. I am favoring it a little bit more, and in the air, it smells much better than when you're spraying it on clothes or up close or on a tester strip. All right, next one by Arabian Oud, and this is called Just Don't Do It. No, it's called Majestic. And Majestic is anything but that. And Majestic is not for me. It's not for me. It's just got this very old school vibe. There's just something about this that's very old school, and it's not like what most people are used to for like old school fougere, barbershoppy. It's old school Middle Eastern. And that translates into something very acidic, ambery, bahuri, so very incensey. And I just don't dig it, man. There's a lot of florals in here as well, kind of going potpourri-ish. And for those of you that might have this fragrance, keep on rocking it if you appreciate it. I just don't. But in all honesty, it's not the worst fragrance in the world. If you like that bitter style of florals, something like unripened rose and ambers, then you'll probably enjoy it. For me, it's an absolute no-go. If you guys ask me if I like it or if I would recommend it, I'd say absolutely not. Pretty much it. Let's move on to the next. All right, so a lot of these, you guys, I don't even remember how they smell. So some of these are really going to be kind of first impressions all over again, because honestly, I've stuck some of these way far in the back. So this is another Superz fragrance, and it makes sense because a lot of these boxes, when I pack them, I put the same shelves in the same boxes, and this is going to be Superz Khalifa. And Khalifa is probably gonna be very Middle Eastern. I don't even know if my code works with them anymore. Try it out. AROMATIX. Go try that out and send them a DM and be like, listen, we're here because of We're here because of AROMATIX. And if there's one, Gold Dust, it's phenomenal. Honestly, pencil shavings, it smells really good. Incensey, ladies, you as well. If you like a Bon Fumé vibes, incense and Palo Santo-esque, you know, it's not Palo Santo, you get the idea. Okay, so this one smells relatively familiar. It does smell Middle Eastern, also woody, oudi, incensey style DNA, and significantly different than Gold Dust. And what I get with this one is this balsamic style of oud and amber. And that's basically what it is. It's musk, oud, amber, some spices, leather, woodsy notes, and powdery notes. I don't really get too many spices. Wait, hold up, I'm pretty Arab. And spices for me is like on the daily. Not cumin though, I don't like that BO stuff. So, okay, yeah, there are some spices. It is a pretty powdery, woody, oudi, piney style scent that is light light in amber, using light ambers. So it's not a bad scent. The one thing that I will say stands out one of the most is going to be the leather. So I would say that this is at heart a leather fragrance, at least to my nose. Leather, olibanum, those ambers, piney ambers, and maybe some woods. I wouldn't really call this a oud fragrance, but not bad. Animalistic, not quite. Spiced, very mildly. That's pretty much it. Leather and amber scent. Moving on to the next one. Okay, Zaharoff's Tabac, signature Tabac. I remember really enjoying this one. This smells like gentleman style scents, man. This smells like a very high-end, modern but old school style fragrance that you could really dress up in a suit and tie, casual events, a gala. It's been quite some time since I have tried a lot of these, and this is fantastic. This is honestly fantastic. I get that plum, some incense, all just blanketed under a naturalistic note of tobacco. Naturalistic smelling tobacco, very fresh style pipe tobacco. And it's funny because I used to work in a cigar shop once upon a time back in like college days. And I remember opening up the tobacco bags where people would roll their own, and this has to smell like one of the best quality ones, the most expensive bags of tobacco. In every good way, this is phenomenal. This is phenomenal. I have to give it credit where credit is due. Probably one of the best fragrances, honest to God, on this list has to be Zaharoff's Tabac. Wow, smells like money. Smells like freaking money. All right, hats off to Zaharoff Tabac, one of the best tobacco, naturalistic tobacco scents. If you're looking for an elevated, naturalistic, very naturalistic tobacco scent that you can wear to like business meetings, business deals, impressing, this is phenomenal. I personally pick up a lot more than just that. There are spices of anise seed. I get that naturalistic smelling of anise. Definitely a good quality of cedarwood, pretty aromatic. The myrrh, the resins, the signature fragrance in a lot of the signature scents is also here in the backbone. High quality stuff. I would probably buy another bottle of this. I should probably buy another bottle of this. And also it's not completely dry and woody. There is the base of that plum and the vanilla, giving it just a very nice tart kick in the base of the fragrance. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. I don't want to prolong it. I don't want to make it seem like I'm like fanboying over it, but it is phenomenal. Wow. Well, I mean, I kind of am fanboying over this fragrance, and there's nothing wrong with that. A good fragrance is a good fragrance, period. Wow. Dude, I don't want to stop smelling this. What size is this? This is a 2 ounce. I'm definitely going to be buying a 4 ounce. Signature scent worthy. Not only is it elevated, but it's also signature scent worthy. It is what it is. That's really, really good. And probably going to be my scent of the day, or scent of the night, I should say. It's around 7:38. I mean, there's no specific time to my recording anymore, especially through this, you guys. It's been crazy. All right, so there are a few of the same brands in here. I kind of want to switch it up just so I can give you guys some variety. Next one is Oud Elite, and this is called C Eau de Parfum. Oud Elite C Eau de Parfum. I remember this one, but I want to pull up the notes so we can look at it together. So pulling up the notes on Perfume 600, which by the way, shout outs to him. If you're looking for any Middle Eastern niche fragrances, a lot of Middle Eastern fragrances, you can find it there. He ships worldwide, and this guy is absolutely insane with his shipping speed. It's like 5 to 7 days. I get it faster than most discounters in the States, and he's shipping from Kuwait. It's always been safe. You can use AROMATIX. He's got the lowest prices in the freaking world after using code AROMATIX, and you can grab those. So C has notes of, this is going for $99.99. The actual notes just says freshing citruses, caramel, ending with oak moss, wood, amber. That's pretty much it. We don't always get notes with Middle Eastern fragrance. Here we go. Ooh, okay, that's actually pretty nice. I'm getting this very distinctive, fresh, aquatic style scent. Absolutely worthy of being called C. It kind of smells like something in between Versace Pour Homme meets something like Megamare. Pretty strong, loud, projecting. Definitely stronger than something like Versace Pour Homme. Those citruses are something that I don't personally get in something like that. And the only reason I'm using these comparisons is because what in the can I actually compare this to for you guys to understand? Especially with Middle Eastern niche scents where there's not much information out there, if any at all, to go off of. I find that using those bridges kind of helps. So more unique than just Versace Pour Homme. Definitely stronger, so it seems, than Versace Pour Homme. And not a definitive inspo or dupe of anything, at least to my nose personally. It goes in that direction, a bit more citruses than both of those, and really nice. I actually really like this one. And the main difference between this and those two aforementioned fragrances is going to be the oak moss and also the amber. So although I get this fresh, aquatic, familiar style scent, there's something unfamiliar about this one that I'm really enjoying actually, because of the fact that I'm not gonna smell like everybody else. The accords that I'm talking about is going to be obviously the oak moss and the amber. A fresh fragrance, yes, with an actual mossy, wet-like, and even warm backbone. The warmth in the ambers is gonna smell like something of resins. That's essentially what they use more often than not, either labdanum or some kind of resins to recreate the amber accord. And that's what I get. And with that being said, you're going to get this very mild, vanillic-like undertone, something piney that coupled with the oak moss just smells like a warm, woody dry down. So fresh, citruses, aquatic with a warm, woody dry down is what C is. It actually smells pretty damn damn good. The one time that I wore this, I do remember it actually performing and lasting for the entire day, especially on clothing, but I did spray it on pretty heavily, and the projection right off the top is stronger than Versace Pour Homme. Mega Marin itself is a pretty beastly fragrance, but for 99 bucks, niche, Middle Eastern, smells freaking great. It will absolutely get attention as well. Moving on to the next one. Date for Men by Jeremy Fragrance. First off, I have to admit that I really don't like the cap situation with the collar. I just feel like at this price point, we should definitely get something more than this. But I do remember really digging the fragrance. And you can find this right now at beautyhouse.com. If I'm not mistaken, use AROMATIX, and it might be the cheapest price right now if you're ever so inclined to grab you one. Yeah, that's good. Mass appealing, spicy, fresh, very crisp. That freaking juniper berry is super crisp. It gives you like that carbonated vibe. Juniper berries is notoriously known for that, the whole tonic water style. And then as it dries down, it gets woody, kind of like this brittle style of woods, retaining some freshness also from those citruses. The spice of cardamom is relatively mild, but consistent with that woody dry down. I will say that I personally don't detect any authentic oud, but I do know that he does source some kind of oud. I'm not sure if it's for this fragrance or for another one that he uses a fraction for his fragrance. It's really good, man. It's got a bite to it. It's got a lot of citruses. It smells like there's a pretty decent dose of ambroxan in this. The juniper berry is very crisp. I can absolutely see the mass appeal to this one. And I can definitely say that this is attention grabbing and potentially compliment worthy. The one gripes that I have, man, is the presentation, dude. Like I can bend this and break it. But aside from that, the fragrance, it doesn't lie. And it's really damn good. The price is the price. I've got no say on that. But do your own shopping. Check out Beauty House. Use AROMATIX. I believe it might be one of the cheapest, if not the actual cheapest, where you can find it. Last but not least, we're gonna end this video by mentioning that my fragrances are ready and available now at jomashop.com. I've got Carnal Desire and Royal Taboo that are currently available for order. Limited stock, get yours while you can. We produced only a limited amount, and once they run out, it's gonna at least be 6 to 8 months until it comes back. You guys remember how long we waited for fragrances like After Effect, Liquid Brune, etc.? Yeah. We used materials of ceramic similar to that of amouage. We used all premium ingredients, and I kept you guys in mind first before anything else. I make little to nothing of profits on these, but that's not the purpose or the intention of this. High quality from A to Z, from the oils of which we've sourced from well-known and reputable factories that you'll find in fragrances like most that you'll find in Macy's, Dillard's, all that good stuff, bottled into this for $59.99. Affordability. This line is going to be my affordable line, and God willing, we have a couple more fragrances coming in the near future. Freshies, natural, sweet, vanillas, unisex, so much coming. And God willing, for the foreseeable future, affordable bangers. I mean, even a designer fragrance right now at discounter, it's like 85 if you're lucky. And then if you go buy it at store, it's like 180 bucks. A niche fragrance is gonna be about 250 to 350, $400. And what I'm promising through these is niche quality, niche level stuff for under 100 bucks. Check the links down in the description for all of the lowest prices on all these fragrances. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Thank you guys for all the love and support. My name is Neeb, and I'll see you in the next one.